Okay. First of all, welcome. Welcome to Impact Hub Belgrade. Welcome to our spring Western Balkan demo day. I'm very happy to see all of you here today with us. And I will try, since I got 15 minutes to introduce myself and Impact Hub, and I'm a person who really loves to talk, I will try to be inside of that timetable. So today, it's a pretty special day for us because we are organizing this demo day together with our new partners, Deal. We have Anya and Jovan here, who will later tell you something more about their company. And also we have another partner who is together with us. It's a company made for you. It's actually one of our community members, and they prepared some really delicious fruit meals, which you can try later on. So for the start, let's see. Shortly about something about myself. I'm actually a relatively new team member at Impact Hub Belgrade, and I'm CEO since February 1st. I'm really delighted that I got a chance to host this event today and to see together with all of you what our startups prepared. Before we start, I would like to just go quickly through the agenda. So as you can see, we have, let's say, 15 minutes for introduction. Then we will have 5 startups pitching. After that, we will have V-Founders live podcast with our amazing superstar guest, Svetlana Ćopić. After that, Deal will introduce you with their platform and their company, and then we will have winner announcements. And after we finish this, let's say, official part, we will have a networking session and time to maybe change some of your impressions from our today's event. Before we officially start, I would like to share some really, let's say, thing that we are very proud of. It's the fact that this year, actually, Impact Hub Belgrade is celebrating our 10th year anniversary. It will be in December, but this entire year is colored with, let's say, the celebration spirit. So basically what we want to do is not only to have a recap about the things that we have done during previous 10 years, but also we would like to prepare some strong pillars for the next decade and for everything, every great things that we are planning to work on. Part of that, let's say, celebration spirit is as you saw on our first slide, being exceptional, let's say, motto, because we really believe that being exceptional is something that you must have if you want to success in your business. And I would also like that to invite all of you to think about what is actually what being exceptional means to you. I have a few answers on my side. But even though it really looks like a pretty simple question, it's not. It can be pretty much complicated. And I'm also very happy that we will have pretty exceptional guests on our V-Founders podcast. So you will hear from firsthand what does it mean for us. If we are talking about numbers, maybe it's the best way to show you what we have achieved over the past 10 years. So we have organized more than 30 demo days. We had connections with more than 200 different companies and stakeholders, not only from Serbian market, but from entire Western Balkan region. We had more than 45 investor presence on our events, and also more than 200 startups who were pitching on demo days. Overall, we could say that more than 500,000 people were engaged in our community and our activities and events over the past 10 years. So I think that besides that 10 years, like a huge number, this is also a number which we can really be proud of. So let's see what is next. Yes, before we start with pitching, I would like to introduce you to our jury members. So we have 3 of them here with us in our space, and 2 jury members who will join us online. And now I would like to give you, let's say, 2 minutes for a short introduction. We can go as you are mentioned on the slide. So Tanya Ladanova would be.
Great. Guys, hope you can hear me. Let me know.
Okay, let's try now.
Okay, once again. Can you hear me? No?
I can actually hear you, Tanya. So
that's fantastic. Okay, hopefully everyone can hear me also.
Okay, now we can hear you.
You can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That's always hard to be the first one, especially if you're online. I can see you, unfortunately, I mean the whole audience, but thank you guys for the invitation and wishing, oh, okay, now I can hear you. Amazing, that's fantastic. Wow, such a smiling people, pretty faces. So guys, I'm representing the Terminal 4. It's a startup ecosystem operating in CE region. We have programs for startups. For example, one of our flagship program is Startup Academy that we are doing together with Meta for 2 years in a row. And the application process right now is ongoing. So for startups apply. We're also cooperating with investors in CE region with big tech companies, as I mentioned, such as Meta, AWS, Google, Notion, Zendesk, and Deal to CE partners. So we're also cooperating. And also we have a startup community with founders from 25 countries from around I would say Europe, but sometimes it's around the globe. And yeah, so happy to be there and waiting for the pitches. That's my short pitch. I don't want to take your time, and we'll give the floor to the next jury member.
Thank you, Tanya. So the next one is Sandra. Sandra is here with us today.
Is this one working now? Okay. So, hi everyone. I'm Sandra. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Collaborating. My experience is mostly with these pitches being on the other side because I've just recently closed our first round at around 1.1 million, and it actually came to a pitching competition. So that's basically where my experience come from, and I can kind of now give you feedback from the other side, what our investors like to hear, what the people in the kind of juries and audience like to see, and hopefully maybe give you some decent feedback on how those presentations should look like.
Okay, thank you. Also here with us today is Serkan Kurtulus. Hi, Serkan.
Hi, everyone. My name is Serkan Kurtuluş. Yeah, I'm working with startups. I'm angel investing into them, but more than that, I'm working very closely with them to grow, bringing my experience, my network, my leads, and few other things. I have a corporate background, worked 20 years for a multinational company. Then I left that to do my own startup. And then I also did some additional investing, etc. So I call myself like I've been on all sides of the table, on the corporate innovation side, on the startup side, now investing and working with startups, and very happy to be here.
Okay, thank you. And now we're again going online. Sabine is here with us online. Hi, Sabine.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you very much for the invitation. I feel very honored to be a jury member on this day. I'm a repeat offender when it comes to startups. So currently I'm working on my 3rd or 4th gig, depending on how you count. But let me circle back to the beginning. My background is in software engineering with specialization in quality assurance in software. So for the first 10 years of my life, I worked as an individual contributor. And in the last 10 years, I switched more into leadership positions, where it was about either building and or scaling engineering organizations. So I worked for a mobile payment startup where I set up an engineering department from basic 0 to 50 people and helped them grow their customer base from about 50,000 clients to 1.4 million. In the meantime, it has become Switzerland's national mobile payment system with more than 5 million users. So you could say that has been a true success story for Switzerland. Then I was responsible for an R&D department in a startup that built self-flying drone systems. And since January of this year, I'm working for another startup in aviation, actually now, where I'm tasked to build up a completely new digital organization from hiring from product management to business analysts to software engineering, quality assurance, and then also operations and support. That's it from my side.
Thank you, Sabine. It's really nice to have you here today with us. And last but not least, our deal representative today, Anya.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Let me stand up real quick because I'm really short. Hello. My name is, this is on, right? You can hear me. Awesome. So my name is Anya. I come from Deal, which you'll hear more about in about an hour. I think I'm here with my colleague representing the company. It's an utmost pleasure to be here because prior to Deal, I actually worked for ImpaHub Global Network. So I do have the experience. This space feels very familiar. I've been in both B2C and B2B marketing for pretty much all my career. But what I'm really here for is to support hearing the pitches, hearing the founders, because I've been with Deal for, well, almost 6 years now, 5.5, and I've been there since seed round. And now we're almost 4,000 people strong, and Deal is backed by several really great investors. So I'm really happy to be here and just offer any and all supports that I can.
Thank you, Anya. So before we officially start with the pitching part, I would just like to once again to go through some details regarding the further organization of the pitching. And before that, I would just like to present you our startups. So we have Flash, Green Cell Innovation, DeepMark, Movably, and Kungul. First one who will present today is Flash and Natasha Popivoda. Before we start, just a small reminder. So you have 5 minutes for to pitch, and we will have 10 minutes for Q&A session right after that. And I will just remind jury members to take notes during the presentations, just to make sure that they have all relevant details for their final decision. So we can start whenever you are ready. We are.
All right. Do you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay, I will just turn on the...
We can hear you, by the way.
Okay, so are we starting?
Hi, everyone. I will share my screen. To share my screen?
No, we cannot see. But we can, maybe Alexa can move presentation forward. And now we can see it.
Just a moment, please. So, can I start now?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Natasha Popivoda, and I will present you Flash. And before I answer on that question, what Flash is, I would like to say something about the current process of payment transactions. In that process, we have several participants. There are clients, merchants, and the banks. And current process of transactions is complicated, slow, and expensive for all of them. When you pay something in stores by card, information about that transaction came first to the processing center. After that, they process that and send that to the banks and to the card schemas. Because of all of that, merchants must wait for their money, even sometimes for a few days. Also, this process is very expensive, so merchants have to pay big fees for those transactions. When we are talking about customers merchant relationship through the loyalty programs provided by the merchants, implementation and integration of those loyalty programs also expensive and complicated for the merchants, and in other hand, those loyalty programs bothers customers with additional registration, bunch of cars or mobile applications. When we are talking about clients and their accounts in the banks, if they have accounts in different banks, they must have different mobile bank application, also cards. And for me, it's always stressful when I must send money to someone else through the mobile bank application, because I must know their bank account number and double, triple check it when I fill that number. So having all that in mind, we created a Flash application that connects all participants in this process peer-to-peer and gather them in one ecosystem, providing them a completely new user experience. So what are the possibility of the Flash? You can pay or get paid only by phone contact. We are providing MPOS implementation, also tailor-made loyalty programs for merchants, etc. What shows that the local market, we are for Montenegro, and what shows the local market is ready for our solution is that the research provided by Central Bank of Montenegro, in which a huge number of participants said that they need at least one of possibilities that Flash provides. European market is huge, like you can see, and on global market we have competition, but in our opinion, what brings us about that competition is that we are providing one application for all consumers' needs. Our business model is B2B2C, and we had quite journey from initial concept till nowadays when we are testing our MVP in banks test environment. Our team is gathering professionals from different fields, and Milena Plamenac, our CTO, is full stack developer with experience in designing, developing business application. She is highly skilled in e-commerce solutions. Mirjana Ivanovic, communication consulting, with 16 years of experience in media, PR, and advising high state officials like Prime Minister of Montenegro, and Jelena Jankic, our legal consultant with more than 20 years experience in intellectual property and business law. And myself, like I said, I'm Natasha Popioda, and I'm software architect and IT project manager with more than 70 years of experience in both IT and banking industry. So just to conclude with our slogan, no card, no cash, no problem, Flash. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we can start with our Q&A session. 10 minutes starts now.
Hi, thanks for the presentation. So why is your established competitors not offering the same features as you?
Maybe because that industry slowly developed, and maybe because of that slowly developed in this way, and because of that maybe some features became before others, and right now because of a legal concept, we have that opportunity to offer all features in one application.
Okay. And what if all of a sudden one of your competitors like Blick or Google Pay overnight start offering all the same features? What would be your defense plan against this?
We think that we provided different user experience and that we can deal with those big competitors on this market that we are targeting, that is a local market and Western Balkan market, and maybe in future European Union market.
Hi, Natasha. Thanks
Hi.
so much for the pitch and welcome to FinTech. Congrats on this very brave move and endeavor. In your presentation, I just want to make sure I'm getting things right. So your potential users are within Montenegro, right?
First of our potential users are in Montenegro because our legal right now in Montenegro is in implementation PSD2 directive from European Union that opens core banking systems to third parts, and because of that we can be present on Montenegrin market.
Okay,
And the
perfect.
first market is for us is Montenegro.
Perfect. Thanks for clarifying that. So as you mentioned, your app kind of tackles both businesses and individuals, and it processes or facilitates the payment process, right? Which is a tough task, and it's all about trust, about compliance, about KYC, and having all the information necessary to prevent any kind of legal risks. Do you already have some customers that you could use to leverage in terms of customer advocacy? And did you plan on using that? And if so, how for other customer acquisition?
No, we don't have customers yet because, like I said, the PSD2 directive is in implementation, but not implemented yet in Montenegro. Because of that, we cannot be on local market, but our plan is to be on local market in Q3 of this year in pilot project and to have first customers through that pilot project.
Right. And once you do, how do you plan to expand and scale your customer base?
We are planning to scale first in Montenegro after that pilot project, and then in Western Balkan region, hopefully Serbia could be one of next countries where we can scale. But in Serbia, we don't have that legal opportunity, and for that market, we have another strategy to be on market together with one or two banks.
Thank you.
Okay, Tanya raised her hand.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for the pitch, Natasha. What are your current challenges? What like the biggest challenge for you right now is what?
The biggest challenge for us is to be on the market, because I mentioned that is PSD2 directive is in implementation, but implementation of that directive is a tough thing for a state and for central bank, and because of that state and central bank have certain problems to implement that, and we must struggle with that problems, and also must be present on market on right time when implementation is full.
So it's about the implementation, go to market, and what about the product itself, or how it's developed or not, what it's already done, for example?
We thought that is the best approach for us is to go to the market with our MVP. So right now our MVP is complete, and we are testing it on bank is test environment. Through this implementation, banks provided some test environments for us to test solutions in them. So I think that our MVP is almost complete for go to the market.
And can I clarify just to understand? So, and all those features that you mentioned compared to your competitors like Bleak or something, they are already here, right? So you already
No.
developed them.
No, we go just with MVP. In second phase, we will develop loyalty programs. In this phase, we will not go with loyalty programs because beside developing of application loyalty programs needs to be developed with the merchants and such.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Is there already a commitment from some of the banks that you're working with for that pilot that you're planning to launch in Q3? And also, if you are able to launch in Montenegro or some other EU country that has the same regulation, do you have any barriers to entry into others? So if you launch, for example, in Germany, will some other country be the same? So how will you work that out, that side out?
I didn't hear first part of your question very well. Can you repeat me first part? I heard second part.
Is there a commitment for many of the banks that you're already working with? You said that some of them provided like a test environment for your app. Is there a commitment maybe from someone to do that launch with you in Q3 so that you already have some sort of plan set up for that with the collaboration that you already have? And the second part was about the regulation. If you're able to launch in one country, is that like a template for another country, or do you have some additional work to do?
Yeah, we don't have, we had some communication with the banks, but not have official deal with some of the banks to be with them on the market. We are communicate with them, and hopefully maybe we can go with one of the Montenegrin banks on the market. But for other part of your question, when you are on European market, which country? Every country, in one country, you are in every country on market. You don't have regulation barriers in that way. But that doesn't mean that we are, if we are in market in Montenegro, that it applies to European Union also.
Okay, do we have any more questions? Jury members here, jury members online. First time, second time? No? Okay, so we are good. We are actually 9 minutes. Use 9 minutes for Q&A. Natasha, thank you for your presentation. Okay, we can now go to our next startup, Maya. You can say when we can start. Okay, we can.
Hi, everyone. We are Green Cell Innovation. I'm Maya Selakov, a CEO and project manager at this project, as I like to call our bugs business. And this is Masha. She's a veterinarian. Yeah. She will talk.
I will present our product today.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah. Okay. So, why insect farming? So Maya and I have started an insect farming company a year ago, and we had a chance to closely observe this field. And we had a chance actually to recognize some parts that can be improved. And insect farming is actually very popular today because the food production has to increase by more than 50% in order to follow the growth of the growing population. And now the alternative protein market is expanding really fast, and the insect protein is really a big part of it.
Um, so while we were working in the past year in insect farming business, we were growing insects and we had a chance to closely observe what is happening. And we noticed that once the diet for insects is balanced, their growth rate is higher, their health is optimized, and the actual products are higher in quality, and the product and the production costs are decreased. So we are offering today a solution for optimizing diets for insects. And our product is called NutriBuzz. So it will present a software for boosting productivity and reducing costs in insect farming. Here you can have a sneak peek at our solution, NutriBuzz. We were set ourselves apart from our competition by developing some features like palatability scale, and we will collect a database that is specifically made for insects. Here is our mock-up. Our competitors are general animal feed optimization softwares. They are the market leaders today, and they are really in the market for a long time. However, those animal feed formulation softwares are made for all kinds of animal farming. So it's mostly the ones that are farmed for a long time so far. So pigs, cows, and poultry. And we would like to actually they are lacking some features like palatability scale that we would like to develop and set ourselves apart from them. Alternative protein market is really in a big growth, and we are actually going into the insect protein market, which has a steady compound annual growth of 25%. And our revenue model will be based on subscriptions and consulting. Currently, we are in the ideation phase. We have received the grant from the Raising Start program, and in these 6 months, we will develop our MVP and test it with our users. And now we are also seeking for further investments to deeper our research and development and marketing and sales. Maya Selakov is our project lead. She has an extensive experience in HR positions and executives positions. Danilo Tosic is our software engineer with more than 7 years experience. And I'm Masha Ivkovic, a veterinarian and entomologist. We were doing, we've done some market research with potential customers, and we found out that this kind of software is really needed. Actually, we came to an idea to develop this kind of software through talking with people that we've met through insect farming. Thank you for your attention. We're eager to answer all of the questions.
Tanya raised her hand again.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It's such an interesting topic, and the pitch itself. I'm not a huge expert, but anyway, why do you think your competitors, so you have a competition, right? Why do you think your competitors are covering different animals feeding, not only insects? Do you have any ideas on this?
Well, they haven't developed anything for insects because the insect farming is really a specific niche, and it's different than other kinds of animal farming. And now today people are using general animal feed optimization softwares to try and optimize feed for insects in them. However, they really do lack some features and databases that is needed especially just for them. And the user interface is really a big obstacle also because those softwares are available on the market for like 30 years. They are actually not cloud-based, they are desktop versions, and it's really the people that are entering insect farming market are just the younger generation, and they are looking for something that would be modern and more intuitive to use.
And maybe one more question, just to clarify. So, who's your perfect client? Who's gonna pay?
So it's our clients are animal nutritionists and insect farmers. So those two are our primary clients.
Like the individuals and farms, both, like
Yes.
the B2B and B2C. Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Maybe I can ask a follow-up question. That would be my question, actually. Like, who is your customer, and how many of such customers exist today in Serbia, for instance?
In Serbia, there are not a lot of people that are working in insect farming business. There are some consultancies, like animal nutritionist consultants that are working, but usually for firms that are outside of Serbia. However, in the European Union and mostly USA, there are around 1,400, I believe, insect farms, and they're really, it's a growing field. So we expect, like, everyone is trying to get into the insect farming now, the people from AgTech, and yeah, we are expecting to have a lot of customers in the next 10 years. So,
Do you have a like projection on the exact number of customers?
yeah, I've done some analysis and I'm trying to remember it now. So there will be like. I cannot remember. It's like 25% compound annual growth in the businesses in general.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
My question was very similar, but I'm also curious about the channels of communication. How are you reaching those people? How do you plan to reach those people? If they're using standard, 30-year-old software, are they going to be able to pick this up quickly and easily? How much are you going to have to invest in that process of acquiring a customer?
Yeah, that is a part that we are reaching. So through LinkedIn, we have already reached them mostly. Like most of the people that we've talked are through LinkedIn. Also through emails, and we plan to go to AgTech conferences, insect farming conferences, and as for switching from general animal feed optimization software to our software, we will be there with them through the onboarding process. So we are expecting like having one demo video with them and like a support chat or yeah, some like maybe like training also if it's needed. But yeah, we plan to make it like more with wizards and everything with video guys, so it can be really intuitive.
Can you go back to the market size?
Yes.
Can you go back to the market size slides, please? So this is the size of the market for insects as a nutrition, right? This is the
Insect farming.
farming.
Yeah, we have the first one is the general alternative protein market.
So this is the total size of the insects as like food, if I answer correctly. But you are in the software business. So you are not going to get a share out of their total revenue. You are only going to get a share out of how much they are spending on software, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to clarify.
Would you be open to exploring other, you said alternative protein market? I'm assuming there are other things. Would you be looking into other industries, things where your tool can be applied, the same technologies, just another
Our
use case?
company is actually Green Cell Innovation. We are a tech company that is actually exploring, researching, and developing products for alternative market protein. So we are not only specialized for insects.
Hi, I have a question. Really good presentation. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
I'm interested in the thinking process of the pricing structure. And how did you come about that? So from my understanding, and you can maybe go back to that slide, you would sell software and then consultancy on top of that. So I'm curious to learn more about that.
So as for the pricing, we have researched the other general animal feed optimization softwares. And we came to a conclusion to that this kind of pricing, it's usually it's the best to have the option to have monthly subscription or yearly subscription. And we have just researched what are the prices today for the softwares, because for example there are those general animal feed optimization software that are used on the market for quite some time. They are actually acquiring you to have your the desktop version of the software, which is really that is a higher cost because you have to integrate it into your whole system. However, we would like to develop a cloud version, and that we can just quickly update it, upgrade it, and to have the full cost of ownership for our users included in this pricing.
Just to check, do we have any more questions? We have 2.5 minutes more. No? Once, twice, third time? No? Okay, thank you, ladies, for the presentation. And now we can go to our next startup. This presentation will also be online. So Slavko from DeepMark.
Hi.
Hi, Slavko.
You can hear me and can see me?
Yes. You can say
Great.
when I can start with the time.
Okay, just to prepare myself a second. Sorry for not being there. It was kind of impossible for us to come, but hopefully maybe next time. Okay. Sorry, I have just to quit and reopen Zoom so I can share the screen. I'll be here in a second. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, it's a good time for a short break if anyone needs a break in the next few minutes.
Okay.
Hello again.
Sorry. Sorry. I just reinstalled my computer, so everything is
Okay, so
okay. Just to go full screen. Okay, so you can see it now, yeah?
okay, we are starting now.
Okay. Hi, my name is Slavko, and today I'll be presenting DeepMark, a watermarking solution based on deep learning. Nowadays, humans generate more data than we can comprehend, and most of that data is personal. Apart from being personal, this data is widely available online, which opens up possibilities for various abuses. Key questions are being asked. How do we protect our data? How do we prove ownership of our data? And how do we protect ourselves against our own data? So there are two major problems that we identify, and they can be roughly classified into two groups. Intellectual property theft exacts a toll of hundreds of billions of dollars on the global economy. Apart from diminished revenue, these problems cause major harm to the company's reputation. The second problem that we identify is the emerging one, so-called deepfakes. As you can see, the image on the left, deepfake generated by algorithm called Midjourney portrays President Trump in prison. Apart from obvious harm to someone's reputation, these kind of problems can create misinformation and create mistrust among the general public. So, to tackle these problems, we intend to create a cloud-based software as a service solution centered around a core deep learning model. So, how this system works? given the digital signal that our client transmits to the service, he then he obtains the watermarking message that the system embeds somewhere deep within the latent space representation of this signal, and outputs the watermark signal that is virtually identical. See, this watermark signal is virtually identical to the original one, but then it still carries the watermarking message. The detection process operates in a reverse manner. Given the watermark signal, the system identifies the presence of watermark. Is it there or not? And if it is there, it extracts the watermarking message. Okay, so the automatic content recognition market is valued about 2 billion of US dollars, and the watermarking sector of that market is valued about $600 million, with the compound annual growth rate of more than 70%. We decided to jump straight into the new markets because we want to avoid fighting in the already saturated markets, and we identified that the best our beachhead market is the generative AI, which is the new emerging market. As you can see, we intend to offer our service in two distinct ways. The first way is subscription-based model, in which we are going to offer our clients several payment plans, and the on-demand model in which the clients would pay as they go. So where we are now? Currently, we received a grant from the Innovation Fund of Montenegro, and we already secured 4 POC trials. From these 4, we already completed 1. The companies that we are working with are international and regional, no local ones. So this is our team. We spent 4 years researching this field and published several peer-reviewed articles so far. We are all from the University of Montenegro, with Professor Đurović being member of the Montenegrin Academy of Science and Arts. He is also one of the world's leading scientists in the field of digital watermarking, with more than 30 years of experience. Costa and mine thesis are all also from the same watermarking field. The results we obtained so far place our state-of-the-art algorithm among the best in the world, a feat acknowledged even by Microsoft, Meta, and recently Adobe, which cited our work as top contenders. We are a well-oiled machine with more than 4 years working together so far. DeepMark, embedding trust. Okay,
Thank you,
I'm
Slavko.
done.
Okay, now we can start with our Q&A session.
I'll remain screen sharing so I can go straight to the slides if is that okay?
Okay. Yes. So, do you have any questions?
What do you feel like makes your technology unique? How are you protecting it, and how are you kind of preventing your competitors from just tackling the same space as you are?
Well, 4 years ago, when we started doing watermarking, it was a field which used traditional methods. We decided to kind of get AI into it, and we became pioneers in this field. Our competitors read our works, and some of them use it as a base of their own research, but we still think that we have the know-how and the experience that is really huge, that we think that we can make a difference against our rivals. Yeah.
Okay, Tanya.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for the pitch. So how did you conduct the market research? Because you mentioned that you know your competitors and you know that you have a killer feature, some AI or something. So how you know that? So I don't know.
Well, we spent the last 2-3 months researching the market. There are several companies doing watermarking in the world. The biggest one is Digimark. They are on the stock exchange, but they only have the 6% of the entire watermarking market, which says to us that this market is really fragmented one. There are no huge players that are going to drown us at the beginning, and we think that we can use that at our advantage and create a market for ourselves.
That's great that you mentioned that the market is super, not the concentrated.
Yeah.
There's no one or two big competitors. But why do you think so?
Well, to be honest, like I mentioned, 4 years ago, no one was interested in watermarking at all. There were those traditional methods in the TV and entertainment industry, but now with deep fakes, those traditional methods are just not good enough. And the watermarking is one of the new watermarking, rebranded with AI, is the new tool to fight the deep fakes. And couple of years is not enough for anyone to take all the market for themselves, and we think that in the next 1 or 2 years we will be able to get a substantial part of the market for ourselves with the algorithms that are really impressive. We have nearly perfect scientific results, and we are confident that we can transform our research into product. Basically, that's our idea.
Thanks. Maybe the last one, and I will give the floor to my colleagues. So let's say you have a perfect technology, a super competitive one. So what's your go-to-market strategy then?
Okay, so we already talked with several companies. Like I mentioned, this slide, it was the worst one. We talked with several international companies that all opened the doors to us because they are in a dire need of watermarking algorithms, and they don't have anything ready even to buy on the market. So we are already talking with them and implementing them in their own products. The companies that we talk with are actually the world leaders in their respective fields. So that kind of gives us confidence that we are going to fight through all the barriers of the market.
Okay, and you have soft agreements, something like that.
We are working towards some sort of agreements. Yes, we finished one POC and it went through. The guys are delighted and they want to continue talking with us and implementing it. The phase we are now is kind of tricky because we have the algorithms, but this thing, software as a service, is not yet ready, and it will take us a couple of months to get it completely ready so it can be mass used by our clients.
It was a pleasure. We have more questions here.
Thanks for the presentation. I think this is brilliant. The problem you are addressing is a real one, and it's a big one, and it will be even a bigger one in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be, I mean, for all of us, okay? I mean, for the companies, for the consumers, for all of us, it will be a bigger problem, okay? I understand the concept, but I am not clear on the product, okay? What exactly you are selling. So assume I am managing a call center. I am buying your products. I will be your customer. Can you explain in very simple terms what is the use case? What exactly am I buying, and how am I going to use your software in my daily process?
Okay. In terms of call centers, we have only one use case, and that is watermarking the something that gets outputted from the call centers. This is really interesting. We talk with several banks and call center providers. They think that this is, for the beginning, some sort of reputational loss prevention. But in the other fields, it's a traditional watermarking, proving that something came out from you and not from someone else. And in terms of deep fakes, like for example in the banks, there are options to call the bank and ask how much money do you have on your account, and the voice bot will tell you have $100, but then someone can create a clone of that voice and which says that you have $10 million, and then you can send it to the bank. This is the most simple explanation. You can send it to the bank and said, look, you said to me that you have 10 million, that I have $10 million on my bank account, and I don't have. And the other thing are the phone frauds that happen all the time. Someone could say that the bank called him and defrauded him or gave some username, password, and standard phishing accounts. The bank could prove that the content the person received did not come from the bank by seeing where is the watermark present or not. I kind of mix myself in the explanation, but it's from this image, the watermark, this QR code is just a creator ID or a content ID. We input that in the digital signal, and from the other perspective, we check whether there is a content or creator ID present or not. If it isn't, we can declare that audio signal or image or video being deep fake or something that is not authentic.
Sorry, it's still not too clear to me. Okay, so when someone calls the call center,
okay,
how does the call center know that that is the person he's claiming?
No, that is not the problem that we are solving. In that terms, we can only protect the call center, the output of the call center.
Okay.
The problem that you're mentioning is biometrics, and that is something that we intend to work on to completely cover both parties. Now we can only cover one party. That is in the terms of call centers. But in the terms of general data that you output to the public, we can watermark it before it reaches the public. So anytime anyone can check whether that data is authentic and who is the creator by just putting that audio, image, or the watermark to our system, and the system will tell you who created it.
Okay, thank you. This is clear right now. I get it. You watermark it on the client side. I have one more question. Do I have time?
Yeah.
Okay. So given that you are developing a completely new technology and we are a new company, okay, and given that you are going to have clients working in very sensitive fields like banking sector, etc., what would be their reason to trust you that you are doing this flawlessly?
It's our peer-reviewed scientific articles. We published several articles in the top scientific journals in the world, and we got citations from Meta, Microsoft, and Adobe, all saying that our work is legit. So I think for the start, that's a lot, enough of acknowledgement for us, and for the future, we'll see, I guess.
Okay, thank you. It was clear.
Okay, we ran out of time, but do you have any additional questions? No? Okay, thank you, Slavko, for your
It was a pleasure.
presentation.
Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing and let you guys get on. Thank you.
And now we can go further, since we are today in a great mix of online and on-site presentations. Now we will have a new presentation here on site with us, Angela from Movably.
Thank you.
Can we start?
Where should I point my pointer? Here? Okay.
Imagine if you could handle the stress of moving with ease. However, packing things and furniture would be the least of your challenges. Imagine you're urgently moving. So you sit at your computer and start a search. Your hours are passing, you're searching thousands of sites and times is passing. And now, sorry, okay. Times is passing and you're losing your time and you are at the beginning having made no progress. So have you possibly filled out some complex questionnaires on one of those sites? Congratulations, you can expect an answer in 3 to 5 working days. Or you decided to reach some carriers by, okay, this is not working. Sorry, okay. Or you decided to reach some carriers through numbers who you gather from family, friends, or online. However, they're not answering your phone and it's difficult to align schedules with. So, okay. Difficult to align your schedule. So the next, you try to, sorry. You try to align your schedule with their busy schedules. So when they finally contact you and ready to help you, they say, okay, no problem, maybe tomorrow. Oh, just fix the price. Too costly, right? Unreliable carriers who don't take care of your personal belongings make even greater costs and frustration. So what now? You practically lost all day, haven't made any progress, and to make matters worse, you haven't even started packing yet. So we are here to offer you the new solution, Movably. Movably is a digital platform that operates on a stock exchange. It is here to operate as an intermediary in concluding business between you and the carriers. The problem we solve include poor communication between carriers and their clients, as well as the empty vehicle returns, excessive carbon dioxide emissions, and time wasting for finding your carrier. Did you know that 25% of vehicles return empty, half empty, and over 50 vehicles return completely empty? So why adding another vehicle for transporting a cargo when you have one nearby? We offer 2 user interfaces, one for clients and another for carriers. We have developed an MVP application that is available Google Play Store, and our new web application is currently under development and is scheduled for launch on May 11th. How this works? Clients post about the cargo and then carriers bid for that load. Client selects the best offer and the chosen carrier confirms the proposal once more. After this, the transport can begin. The most frequent user of transport service are tenants, students, and similar audience. Movably is also intended for some smaller transport, such as individual items, motorcycle transport, and similar needs. We focus on smaller transport companies because they have the greatest motivation to expand their business and acquire additional clients that we can provide them. As annually in the Serbian market, there's around 130,000 relocations with average cost of $230. And the overall market value exceeds $30 million. We offer to carriers their exceeded earnings, and also we offer them their target group at their fingertips. For you as a client, we save your time and money. We offer an opportunity to find your affordable and reliable carrier. The marketing strategy that we are using is that we are targeting our potential clients through active social media channels and by buying and advertising on some famous websites such as Navidiku and Kupujem Prodajem. And when it comes to carriers, we send informative emails and tend to make contacts with carrier associations in Serbia and the region. We're currently negotiating with 35 carriers and expecting by the end of this year, 20 carriers on disposal. Our marketing strategy, our scalability is that our platform is made not only for relocation services, we are prepared to expand and enter other segments of transport industry to diversify our services and open new revenue streams. We constantly work on optimizing a platform so we could meet the growing needs of our customers. Okay. can finish. Okay. There's not much more. Our carriers can subscribe to our platform by using 3 different packages. And each package contains out of numbers of concluded businesses in 1 month, as well as the market analysis for carriers in the premium package. And for clients, we offer the possibility to, let's say, make their posts more visible to carriers by increasing the chances of receiving offers more quickly. And we also received a grant by StarTech project, and we won a grant value $25,000. And I'm Angela, the CEO and co-founder, alongside with my colleague Philip, and we worked on this idea since high school. We're currently university students, and we could say that we grew up with this idea and continue to grow. So it has been really a lovely journey, and we are looking forward to our future endeavors. And thank you for your attention.
So we can start with the Q&A session. Just a second. Here.
Is there any direct?
That's really interesting subject, because here in Serbia and this region, people don't use this type of, let's say, finding their carriers. There is a competition when it comes to logistics, because we're currently not working in logistics. We are focused on, let's say, movings. There is Timocom. They work with the logistic companies and only, let's say, legal entities. We work with legal entities as carriers, but our let's say, services can use legal entity or individuals if they want to, let's say, transport any items. So currently on our market, on our region in Balkan, for, let's say, there are no competitions, because people usually don't use this type of, it's kind of new approach for finding your carrier. Okay, how this works is that we are just an intermediary, so we help them conclude the business, but they're not, they don't pay through our platform to the carriers. They're doing that themselves. So we only take the payment from the carriers for using our platform, because we give them their target group on, let's say, it's a marketplace for them. So we give them their clients, and we help them grow their business and exceed more money in the future. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. I just text that we can't hear the other jurors here in Zoom, by the way. So maybe the question was there. But first of all, thank you for the pitch. And, you know, that such a famous, I would say, project in general, as there are lots of startups in this field that I personally know. And there's always a problem of chicken and egg, when you need a lot of couriers for clients, right? So they have an option, and the problem will be solved. And the other way, couriers always looking for, you know, the huge database, I would say, of clients to be interested in downloading the app or go to the web platform. How are you going to solve this, you know, problem, the issue of chicken and egg? Do you have any ideas on this, or maybe already tested something?
If I understand the question correctly, you want me to explain how we'll attract clients to use our application, right? Our platform.
Yeah. Both channels, like the couriers and the clients. And so that will be, you know, the same amount of them, or, you know, just, that's
yes,
the question.
that is also quite interesting subject, because we have 2 different type of users. So we have to, if we want carriers to come to us, we have to attract clients and to give them the offers, and opposite. We're currently having, as I said, 35 carriers. We negotiate with them, and we have like ready 12 carriers, and the rest of the carriers are still, let's say, in the negotiating. When it comes to clients, we use digital marketing, and we use active social media channels, because that's where they're mostly present. The age, let's say, the age where they are at are 25 to 34 years. They're frequently moving because they're searching for jobs and, let's say, working remotely. And so we are currently also discussing this with some carrier associations, so we could, let's say, present our idea to many more carriers. And for example, smaller carrier companies are interested in this because they have, let's say, less traction, and it could help them grow their business, especially in the beginning. So they are really interested in this approach, and they're very busy when it comes to their phones are ringing all the time. So this could help them manage their time and, let's say, give a different approach to business. They would be the one who will come to their clients and not the opposite. So they could control the amount of work they want to do, let's say like that. Okay, thank you.
Do we have more questions?
Yes, we do. Thank you so much for the presentation. It was great. Can you speak more about the initial carriers? Like, what are their profiles? What is their segment? How big they are? And based on that, I would love to understand a bit more how you plan on expanding towards bigger companies and bigger carriers.
Okay. In Serbia, there's more than 3,000 smaller carriers who work on relocations and, let's say, transport of individual smaller items. So we are interested in working with them because, as I said, we want to expand their businesses and help them grow. And we think, and we came from, let's say, my problem. I was moving 8 times and have really difficult time finding a carrier because we had such short notice to move, and I wanted something to give to community, because I mean we wanted to give something to community to help them, let's say, take off one burden on their shoulders, because it's really stressful when you move. And when it comes to carriers, they're, as I said, they're usually very busy when it comes to their phones, and they often tell you, okay, call me for 2 to 3 days, 5 days. And when you are in a hurry, that really doesn't help you. So it would be great if you had a platform where you can post your needs, and then carriers come to you by offering the prices, and you choose not just by the price, also by the, let's say, how do you say this? Other users can, let's say, leave a comment on how is their service. So I will know, is this carrier reliable or not? And of course, I can contact our platform. You can contact us if you had any problem with the carrier, so we could see the problem, if that carrier should be removed from the platform, or just, let's say, mention you should pay attention to how you exceed your service to our clients. And when it comes to carriers, when we talked with them, they are really interested in this approach because it really gives them the control of their business, and they can manage more time, their time, let's say it like that.
Short follow-up. So when you're talking to carriers, are you also talking to entrepreneurs? Because we know in Serbia, there are a lot of carriers who are actually like single people, single entrepreneurs. Are you talking to them as well as bigger companies?
We're currently talking to smaller companies. Bigger companies are someone who usually work by the contract. They already have contracts, and it's kind of different type of work. And we are really interested in entering that market field as well. But it takes time and researching how we can provide them with such needs, because they already have the contract, and we work more for one-time relocations only. And how we approach them is that we give them 3, let's say, concluded business free, so they could try how efficient our application is, our platform. And we tend to have a closer relationship with them, because we want to hear the real feeling of using our application, our platform. We want to see, is there something we can change that could meet their needs much better than we already do now? So we are really open to listening to their needs, and we want to, let's say, shape this idea around them, and we are ready to change the concept if needed. And we are highly aware that it takes time to enter in logistics, because it's a huge industry and very complicated. But it's very interesting for us because there are many, let's say, ways that you can enter this industry. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. I have a couple of questions which are all linked to each other. Okay. So first one is, who is your target audience on the client side? Okay. Secondly, do you have data on how frequently people move, or how many times they move, say, in a period of 3 to 5 years?
Okay. So our target group when it comes to clients are usually tenants and students, or people who frequently more move. Some people also who work remotely because they change, let's say, they work from Belgrade and work from Novi Sad or something similar. That's an example of Serbia, of course. And we conducted our research, and we talked with 189, let's say, people who, 4 of them didn't move, but their friends and family members did. So our research showed that more than 56% of, let's say, people who we talked with moved more than 2 times in the span of 3 years. So, for example, I moved 8 times, and I moved, let's say, 4 times in the last 5 years. So there's a lot of people who are tenants who pay rent and frequently change the place of living because the landlord sets new let's say price for the staying, so they change to find something more suitable for them to live. So it really happens a lot in Belgrade, like to daily basis. It happens around 150 relocations just in Belgrade. Yeah.
On this one, actually. So my guess is that most people on the client side will use your services, your platform, maybe once a year at best.
Okay.
So the transaction frequency on the client side is very low, which means that you are going to spend a lot of money to acquire a customer, okay? Bring them to your platform, make them use your platform, and then they will be done. There will not be another repeat purchase 1 week later, 2 weeks later, okay? So
not exactly.
So yeah, I mean that's why I want to get your perspective on how do you plan to address this challenge.
Okay, so I talk a lot about relocations because that's our first approach, but our platform is not only for relocations only, it's for smaller transport such as individual items, because carriers also have half empty trucks, so it's not full capacity used. So they use our platform to, let's say, fill the capacity. So when you have like, let me go back to a few more slides, please. More? 2 or 3 more slides. Okay, again. It's okay, one more. One more. One more. And one more, and that's it. Okay, so here you have like, let's say, picture. If we have like some load or cargo, and if I wanted to transport it, why should I, let's say, engage another vehicle when we have some vehicles already on trucks going that way? And our app helps those carriers to fill their capacities, earn money, and also it helps us to reduce empty vehicle returns and also carbon dioxide emissions, which are big problems in today's times. So, but with our application, not only we want to help people with relocations, but also we're transporting smaller items and carriers to fill their capacities to the fullest. So we're not only focused on relocations, even though we talk a lot about them, we are also focused to help people to transport some smaller items and everything that comes into your mind: boxes, motorcycles, bikes, everything you need to send to someone, because that's really frequent. Perhaps I first always start talking about my family. My dad frequently sends some packages and parts of the motorcycles. So this approach would help him to not only pay more, he would pay less, because some trucks are already going to that direction. So it means the lower price for clients, instead of engaging another carrier who would pay and charge more. Thank you so much.
And now we're going back to our final presentation for today. See? Hello there.
Hello, everyone.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you very well.
Okay, just to check.
Can you hear me?
Hear you very well. Just a minute.
Oh. Is it better now?
A bit, but we are trying to solve it.
Yeah, otherwise I'm removing maybe the headphones. Let me try that. I can't hear you now.
Now it's better. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. So can we start? I can turn the timer on.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Just
The stage is yours.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Erblina. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Kongul, a startup envisioning a world where people can make informed decisions for their self-care products. In 2014, I became a mom, happiest day of my life. My son was born. 2 months later, he was diagnosed with atopic skin, a chronic, long-lasting disease that causes irritation, inflammation, and redness of the skin. So imagine from that moment, I started reading all the labels and researching the internet in order to know what to put on his skin and ours as a family. While researching, I discovered actually that on average, 60% of the ingredients that we are contained in our everyday products, 60% of what we put on our skin is absorbed by our body, and while 74% of the ingredients contained in the beauty products have never been tested for safety. Actually, even worse, they are causing issues like learning disabilities, infertility issues, or even cancer. So in face of such truth, my question was, how can we as a consumer quickly know which products are safe for our loved ones and without having to spend countless hours researching? So that's why we created Kongul. Kongul is a mobile app that allows users to simply, with a scan of the product, assess the presence of potential harmful chemicals and recommends healthy local solutions. And when we say healthy, we mean it. We gather data from regulatory sources like ECHA, the European Chemicals Agency. We process it. We provide users with one healthy simple score, and all of this for free. So yeah, how big is the global market of skincare top-down perspective? So we're looking at an available market of 143 billion in 2024. The clean beauty market stands at 7 billion and is expected to double by 2028. And if we assume a market capture of only 5%, we get a 375 million market available. Of course, yeah, there are a few actors that are also contributing to the clean beauty sector today, but our market position is unique. Unlike our indirect competitors, Kongul is collaborating with businesses and has the most easy-to-use interface. Our B2C customers are health-conscious consumers and parents that want the best for their children. Our B2B customers are primarily local brands that produce in small batches and are looking for more exposure, as well as established brands with healthy products. The way we work with these brands is via affiliation and marketplace as our two initial revenue streams. We generate sales for these brands and can get a commission up to 40%. Such extension of the database brings us to the third revenue stream, which is data analytics, which helps third parties have a better understanding of the products in the market. Lastly, for all users who want a personalized experience, whether we have pregnant women or people with sensitive skin, we will introduce them to the Kongul Premium subscription. Since the launch of our product in September 2023, we have already, now we have 2,200 registered users, 1,000 monthly active users almost, and a database of 25,000 products. We have been recognized for our work by winning in 3 startup competitions, and we look forward to participating more this year. One of them is Impact Hub today. All this, of course, wouldn't have been possible without the team behind. I have more than 20 years of experience in quality assurance systems, leadership, and negotiation. My co-founder, Nancy, has built already 2 startups, and she's the tech girl. I do have the honor to have Lirim as well in the call with me, with the sales and fundraising expert in the team. We do have an organic chemist, PhD, Angela, and more and more. So yeah, we do have the data. We do have all the skills needed to make this happen and real. And we are united by a shared passion to raise the standards in the skincare industry.
Okay, unfortunately, we ran out of time. So
Oh, sorry. Oh my God. Okay.
five time already passed. I don't know if jury wants to hear something more. We can prolong it, or
Maybe I can take,
okay,
yeah.
okay. You can complete the slides quickly.
Okay, thank you very much. Oh, that went fast. It was 5 minutes. Okay. So yeah, we have done a lot so far, but there is a lot more to do. And in the coming years, we aim to build a marketplace, expand to emerging markets that don't have as much access to transparent information on skincare products. And by 2027, reach 5 million users at least and get a Congo Global certification. So in order to scale up, build a marketplace and increase the brand awareness, we're asking for 500K in our pre-seed round. And according to our recent report by Deloitte, evaluation report, our evaluation goes up to 34 million by 2028. So while you're getting ready to invest and preparing your questions for me, you can use the app already, give us feedback, and most of all, stay safe. It only takes a second to get the score. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So now we are starting with Q&A part. Tanya?
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks for the pitch and for the personal story, because it, always have some influence. So my question is about actually the monetization model, because do you know already how many, let's say about the Balkan market, right? So how many good companies, meaning that they have a good reputation and, approved by you for customers, are ready on the market and ready to pay to be presented on your marketplace, right? Because nobody, like talking about the companies, nobody want to be blamed by you, right? That they are not so good product for your clients, for the users. So do you know already, or maybe have some predictions?
Yeah, thank you, Tanya. Very useful question. That was my first big question when I started all this adventure more than 1 year, almost 1 year before. So yeah, of course, our position, it's a bit tricky, of course, because we are telling the truth. But this truth is something that everybody can have access to. Okay, so if you take one ingredient, you make a research, you take this public information, everybody can see if that ingredient is carcinogenic, and it's like the truth is there, it stands there. We're just making it easier for people to read. And yeah, we do have already 3 local partners. So one is a local brand, which is completely healthy, like almost 100% of ingredients are completely green and healthy. And we do have as well two big players, which are distributors of many brands, who are willing to start the collaboration. So we have tested in local market in Albania for now. And yeah, there is interest because actually we are having a very niche platform which provides, I mean, in terms of image for brands is good because every brand actually do have at least 1 or 2 products which have no bad ingredients, let's say, or harmful ingredients. So for the image, it's really good because they can have this healthy image by having even 1 or 2 products of their range. So yeah, there is a will, and at the end of the day, which is the most interesting discussions I've had with these people initially, was that they are all parents at the end of the day. Most of them, they are all trying to take care of themselves and their health. So yeah, at the end they understand and they are willing to support and to be part of this.
Thanks for the answer. And maybe one last question. Do you want to stop on the beauty sector only, or you want to go ahead with, I don't know, food, for example, or something to also, to help people follow the diet and avoid the bad ingredients?
Yeah, of course, I totally agree. Actually, this is it's an holistic approach. Actually, we can't ignore what we eat. We can't ignore how much we take care of our body overall. So yeah, the future is big. We would love to expand more and have a more holistic approach, but step by step, one step at a time.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, do we have some more questions?
Can you hear me now better? Okay.
Don't be shy. You can ask me any questions. Joking.
My question is about the affiliate program that you mentioned about making commissions from the sold products. How are you planning to implement that with small producers who are basically selling through Instagram and they don't have an official e-commerce shop, which is oftentimes the case with smaller local producers, and also with bigger brands who are
Got
not selling
your name.
directly? Can you
Sorry,
hear me?
yeah. Now I got the end of the question all shortened. Sorry, I didn't got your name. You are? Sorry.
I'm Sandra. Yes, I'm
Sandra.
Sandra. I'm a co-founder of a local startup here, and
Yeah,
we're
okay.
implementing an affiliate program, but for a different purpose because we're a software company. But my
Mhm.
question was in regards to how would it be implemented with smaller producers of cosmetics who don't have online shops, but have like Instagram accounts, TikTok accounts, and also bigger brands who are actually selling it through other shops. So here locally, we have a couple of stores that sell all the cosmetics. So L'Oreal is not the one who's actually placing the product on the market. They're just selling it to someone who is selling it then to someone who is the end consumer.
Yeah, we are. Thank you, Sandra, for your question. Lovely. So affiliation, I see, is your thing, and we have already started. It's easy actually with brands that have a website already, as you said, as we act as the healthy broker. But when it comes to local, even small distributors or local brands that do not have that, we can give them access so they can handle their orders. So we transmit them the orders. So we are building the marketplace. So we're working on this right now, actually. So yeah, the idea is to share with them the information, and they do handle the shipping and everything. So that's it. I didn't got the full question, to be honest, so maybe I missed a part of it.
Yeah, I was just curious about, the revenue split and how that's going to be handled with these small producers and also bigger companies, because this is clear. If you're building the marketplace, that's going to help the smaller producers. But bigger companies, I'm not still super clear on how they're going to be paying you actually if you're recommending or not recommending something.
Yeah, it's only on sales generated, so it can be by the API and the link when we generate the sales for them, or actually, I do have one of my collaborators on the call right now. Maybe Karim, you wanna say more about this?
Yes. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
So, Kungul will recommend only healthy products, only the products that we call Kungul approved, that go beyond the score, the below score, which is at least 7 from our 1 to 10. No matter the brand, the products that result to be Kungul approved or healthy will be part of our marketplace. So they can come from like big brands or small brands, it doesn't matter. But as Erblina mentioned, it can also be by leads generation. Even if we don't have a product listed in our marketplace, we can generate leads through our social media and website and the app to the marketplaces that are existing already. And we can measure that very easily.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much for the presentation. You mentioned that you approve products and brands and therefore recommend them through your app. How do you vet and what is the criteria for the brands? And how would you communicate your expertise? Basically, what makes you the right people or the right company to vet and suggest to your suggest products to your clients and users?
Yeah, thank you. Very, very good question as well. Yeah. Actually, our first mission is just to provide in a readable and a easy way to understand for the consumer what is contained in the product they are going to buy or that they do have in their bathroom. So with a scan, actually with just a scan of the barcode, you can get the list of all the ingredients contained. And when you click into each ingredient, you get into the ECHA website, which is the European Chemical Regulation. So you can get the details if you're a very conscious consumer and understand yourself if that ingredient, which is in the shampoo you're using for months, is carcinogenic or is the cause of that hair loss or whatever issue you might have. So the thing is that this scoring, it's something that, of course, we have done in-house based on the weight of the ingredients, based on the order. So there are some specifics behind the scoring. So of course we have that made in-house, which is based on all these data we are getting from reliable sources, which are backed up with studies, which you have access as a user. So yeah, that scoring might be, of course, discussed by brands or even by users itself, but the idea is just to give that transparency. In one click, you get all the information. Then if you want to look at the score, which is based on the ingredients contained in the product, you can use it if you're a user that wants a quick solution and don't want to go through these details. But otherwise, everything is made simple and visible, and that's our biggest strength, let's say, and where we stand makes us different. So
Okay, we ran out of time again, but is there any need for additional
I
questions?
had one more question, but if you could keep the answer very short to respect time. So if the data you are using is publicly available, right?
Mhm.
The ingredient
Yep.
data.
Mhm.
What is your defense plan against another startup who can access the same data free of charge and offer the same services as you? How would you defend yourself?
I would wish them good luck, as actually the data behind creating all this database, it has taken us more than 1 year. And with a very, very dedicated and committed team, let's say in the background, it's like a social project. We have been working on this. We are 22 people in total working on this, and yeah, I would wish them good luck. And yeah, let's enjoy. I mean, join the clean beauty and industry. I mean, there is space for a lot more than how we are today doing this kind of services, and the market is huge. So yeah, good luck with the data first, I would say.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you once again for your presentation. So that's it. Now we are done with all 5 of our startups for today. And now I would like to ask our jury to join me in our boardroom. I'm sure that you will not have pretty easy job to decide which one of our startups was the best. And we need 2 or 3 minutes just to prepare the stage for what I promised at the beginning. It's a We Founder podcast with our extraordinary ladies, our co-founder Gaia Montelatici and our special guest star Svetlana Teca Ćopić. So I'm pretty much sure that you will enjoy in their conversation about the topic of being exceptional in these days. So see you a bit later. And that's it from my side for this moment.
Funkcioniše? Hello, hello. Može?
Hoćeš i ja? Ok.
Čekaj da vidim. Idemo. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to the We Founders podcast, and thank you for being here. My exceptional guest tonight is Svetlana Ceca Čopić. I've met her only just a couple of days ago, and she's actually a friend and the inspiration of one of a fantastic manager I work with here at the Impact Hub. And I was super impressed with what she's doing, how she's doing it, and by the way in which we clicked right away and just started talking. And that's what I would love to do with you. The We Founders podcast tonight, just continue this fantastic conversation that I started with Ceca. So she's creative director. She brought forward so many projects that have been awarded. She has 2 to 3 of her own endeavors that she founded. And I would love for her to just talk a little bit about what she does in the next couple of minutes and how you got to where you are right now and what were the main things that made you become the creative director that you're today.
Okay, thank you first for having me here. It was so great meeting you a couple of days ago, as you said. And it's great actually to be here in this particular event and occasion today. I always say that to this day, and I've been working in advertising for over 20 years now, I still can't believe I'm getting paid for coming up with ideas because when I was a kid, I was one of those kids that school was very easy and I was very bored and I was always constantly coming up with different ideas to make it more interesting for me and for my friends. And it always got me into a lot of trouble. And I didn't know, it took me a lot of time actually when I was at the university to discover this profession where actually you get paid to come up with these kind of things. And the crazier, the better.
To be outside of the box, yeah?
Yes, to think outside of the box and to constantly come up with new ideas. To this day, that hasn't stopped fascinating me in this profession that's, of course, has a lot of, reasons to be criticized as well, but I always choose to take it in a very specific angle. I don't think my profession as a creative director working in advertising is coming up with ways to sell more shampoo or to sell more fast fashion or whatever. Of course, it is part of our job, I mean, realistically, but I think my job is to come up with stories and ways to connect with people and to influence their emotion, to make them think differently, to change things. I think it's very powerful to work with ideas because ideas have this huge power to really transform not only businesses, not only brands, but also the way we understand some things in the society, or the way that we can contribute to it.
So it's very interesting what you're saying, because you've worked also with big systems, right? And then you've created your own businesses. But we have this conception that maybe, you know, in the big systems, you don't have that big of a space to be creative. But you are actually proving this wrong.
Yes. I mean, yeah, I have been working with basically the biggest brands that are present in the region, because I have been working in the regional agency. So interestingly, all these brands are hungry for new ideas. They all want something that will, I mean, at the bottom, influence people. And one of the best things and the first things I have learned in my job was that the best advertising doesn't look like advertising. So the most impactful things you can do and the best ways to achieve some goals you have don't actually go way beyond traditional, I don't know, TV commercial or print campaign or so on. So I also had the luck to start my career in an agency that was really dedicated to coming up with some innovative ways to approach our profession. And then personally, after that, it just became my own personal initiative. I was always pushing for some kind of project that were most times self-initiated. We would literally self-initiate ideas and suggestions for big clients and go meet them and explain it to them and show it to them, surprise them. And in many occasions it worked. So yeah, it's my approach. And to this day, it's actually, when I think about it now, I never thought about it until this very moment. That's entrepreneurial spirit within my profession. Like, you come up with suggestions, you don't wait for invitation from somebody.
Exactly. And I'm curious to find out from you, how do you define success and achievements in what you do? Besides, is that something that goes besides the numbers or the revenues, or how do you for yourself set success measures?
That's a very interesting question. I think my personal success measures are not the same as, you know, for my client is different, for financial people is different. For me personally, it's when people want to participate and are excited to participate in something that we have created. I mean, nobody likes advertising. We are all fed up with it. We all do our best. We are ready to pay for subscriptions in order to protect us from being pushed advertising messages. We hate it, but we all like stories, and we want to be surprised and we want to be entertained. And I feel the most that I have achieved my goal when I create something that people are really excited about and want to be a part of, that are looking forward to be part of. And it doesn't happen every day. It has happened several times in my profession that actually, you know, people self-initiated, like they write to the client and they say, oh, thank you for doing this. It was so exciting. And it's really, that was like the peak of my success.
Which leads me actually to ask you, what are the projects that you are most proud of, and that you've, you know, led and you've seen the impact of? You told me in a very glimpse of an eye, you told me of one. I don't want to spoil it. Maybe you want to tell the audience about it and add a couple more.
Okay, I'll be glad to. I mean, when you ask me this kind of question, I immediately have like three answers. First one is, it's always my next project, because, you know, you be excited about what's coming up next. And that's, I think, what keeps me like excited about this job to this day and in the future. But secondly, I always like the projects that cannot be contained in one media, that are not in one traditional media. As I said, the best advertising doesn't look like advertising. So the things that you cannot put your finger on, what is this? It's just an idea. And the idea is actually the one that dictates the media you will be used. It shapes its own media. So that's my favorite always. And the one that you mentioned is a very good example because I also like, as we said, like the point is to make a change, to change things. And I will be glad to share the project that you think about, because for me, that's a good example of how simple an idea can be and really have a huge impact. As I said to you in the conversation, it was like maybe 5 years ago. It was the summer and I was reading in the news, like it was 1 month that had 3 cases of femicide. And I, as a woman, as a member of this society, was very, like, what's the word to use? I don't even know. I was not, yeah, I was shocked. And I was equally shocked by the way the media was writing about it. And I felt like I felt this anger, like I need to do something about this. But what can one person do with this huge social problem? So I decided to contact the Autonomous Women's Center in Belgrade. And I told them, like, look, this is what I do. I do communication. What is your biggest problem? What is the biggest issue in communication that maybe I can come up with an idea to solve? And they said, what was shocking really for me as well, that they have a data that showed that only 2% of women that were exposed to, that were victims of domestic violence knew that there was a free SOS phone number, helpline that they could call and get free support and legal and psychological and whatever they need actually to try to come out of this situation. So I was really shocked by that. And I decided I need to do something about it. But it's a huge challenge because first of all, they don't have a media budget, like it's zero. And even if they had the biggest media budget in the world, it wouldn't be a lot because potential victims of domestic abuse are everywhere. They are in isolated villages, they're in big cities, they're very well educated, they're not educated, they're all ages. It's so diverse. It's like literally if you buy all the billboards in the country for 3 weeks, it will again be only those 3 weeks and then it's gone. So I was thinking like what unites all these women? And the only thing I could come up with was they all had a menstrual cycle. So most of them, not all of them again, but most of them had a menstrual cycle. So I decided like maybe I can use this as a starting point. And I started thinking and I realized that, you know, for men who are listening, when you use a sanitary pad and you open it, there is a little paper that holds the wings of the sanitary pad together. So the first thing you see when you open a sanitary pad is this little paper, and you physically need to take it in your hand and remove it in order to be able to use the product. And this paper is not visible from outside. You cannot see it until you start using the sanitary pad. And I realized that this position is the perfect place to actually put the phone number of the helpline with a message like there is a way out. So the next thing was actually to find the only domestic producer of sanitary pads and to contact him, to present this idea to him. And luckily he was very open to it and agreed to actually do it. So it was a little bit additional cost, production cost, but that was all. And it took a lot of months and it was of course many complications and stuff, but at the end it came through. And I will never forget, like maybe 3 or 4 days after these products were distributed in the shops, I got a call from Sanya from Autonomous Women's Center, and she told me that a woman called, and when asked, how did you learn about the number? She said, buy the sanitary pad. So it was already doing something. And it's been on these same sanitary pads for years. And I don't know how many women have learned about this number from them, but they keep learning. And it's one of those projects that I'm really, really happy that I created.
It's genius. It's a genius idea, and it got so many women to find out about this service, and it doesn't look anything like advertising, and it's pure, effective communication targeted to the women who need to receive it, excluding everybody else who may actually be of a risk to them. So it's a genius idea. I mean,
It's very simple, actually. I think
Yeah.
that's the best thing about it, being very, very simple.
Do you have something else to share?
I have so many,
Yes.
maybe too many.
Just pick another one.
Okay, this one is very also very strange. I like this one because it's very strange and because to this day I cannot believe it happened actually. So in one moment I took over a task to actually build some kind of public awareness for this little German agency that was working in our country very successfully for decades, but nobody knew about it. It had no profile in public. And it was German, so German is not usually connected here with creativity, so it's also very tricky for a creative agency to be like that. And I decided like, okay, let's make some kind of a goal. What can we do for what will be the ambitious goal we want to achieve? And we said like, we want to be in national news. And we said, okay, let's see. And I was like looking at what we have at our disposal. So we had the German agency, we had this color, blah, 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 and there was this corporate slogan, which was made somewhere abroad that said orchestra of ideas. And the first thing I said, like, this is a horrible slogan. We need to change this. This is so old fashioned. This doesn't say anything. And I was constantly saying about how we need to change this stupid slogan until one morning I woke up and I was just had this, I cannot explain, like these ideas that you just, you have them and then it's very strong vision and you just don't know how this came true. I just have this idea like, okay, this is what we need to do. We need to find a Serbian, a local composer, classical composer, and to find if there is like some piece of work that he started working on, and we will make it finish. We will finish it. Like is there something unfinished, and we will finish it, and then we will present it to the public, and this will be our campaign. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, to this day, it's crazy. And I shared it with my partners in the agency, like expecting for them to say, are you nuts? And they said, okay, let's try it. So to cut the story, like long story short, it was one of those ideas that like magically, like doors just keep opening in front of you. It turned out that the only famous classical composer we have, Stevan Mokranjac, actually had started his last piece of work like a couple of days before he died. And to make the story more interesting, people didn't know about it at all. Like people in musical academy, because we started inquiring with them, they didn't know about this piece. But our team and partners managed to find one in our archive, like one single piece of work written by the hand by Stevan Mokranjac a couple of days before his death. And it was like unfinished. And at the reverse side, there was, because he was sick and he probably knew that he didn't have time to finish it, he literally made a brief for somebody who would finish it later on. So it was really, I mean, it's really amazing. And we contacted our currently very well-known classical composer, Alexandra Verbalov in New York. And she was the one who finished this piece. And it had its premiere in Kolarac, and it was on national news. It was everywhere. And it's like actually great because result of this idea was to create something that was a new, like addition to like national culture. It's public good now. It's for everybody. So maybe that's the strangest one I can think of.
There's a constant in what you do, though, that actually matches, the public good and the impact together with, the communication and business. And we were talking the other day, actually, about how success in business also highly depends from knowing what you know, yeah, and your personal development and all these intuition that you are actually exposing in your examples is it's not by chance. It's that you know who you are and you know what you know. So can you maybe just reflect a little bit on your path of professional development and personal development and where it's leading you further?
So maybe it's not by wonder today that I started my own entrepreneurial path. And it was during Corona. I always have these ideas for, my favorite thing is creating brands, like, because with every new brand you create a totally new world. It's like something that hasn't existed. It has a personality, it has atmosphere, it has identity, it has values. So at this particular moment, I was like, we had like more time at our disposal. And with my friend, we founded the first plant-based milk shop, so to say, in Serbia. It's what it was called Komleko. And it was very interesting because it was the first time that I create my own brand. And what I realized was that I loved the freedom of and the quickness of making decision. And what we also find out that when we apply what we know about branding on small business, local small business, it has such a huge effect in, like, as I told you, like when we started it, we thought, okay, maybe we can try this out for a year. Let's see how it goes, if anybody will buy this, without any ambition. And because we were just doing what we know how to do, like to develop brand, in 3 months, it was crazy. It was like we were getting calls from investors, we were getting calls from media. It was like frightening for us, honestly, because however skilled we were in branding, we were totally unskilled in organizing a production business. So it was very interesting experience, and I loved it so much that I decided, and then we got contacted by other small brands who were like, oh, how do you do this? How do you that? They just recognized that we were doing something different, that we were doing something that they didn't know how to do. So I realized that actually for them, it would be so precious to be exposed to this professional branding know-how. Brand strategy is the most expensive product of an agency. It's called in our market, which is very cheap. But even in our market, it's over a couple of like 20 or 25 plus thousand euros. So for small brands, it's way beyond what they can do. They just need to like intuitively just hire a little designer to do them a logo, and they don't have any brand strategy. So I realized, like, maybe I can just use and somehow all my experience, make it very simple, make it very approachable, and offer it to them. So I created this platform that's called Moćni Mali Brand, Mighty Little Brand. And it's targeting like small business owners and offering them a chance to create, with my mentorship, a brand strategy, creative brand strategy for their own little brands. But that will help them to actually attract attention, and stand out in the market that's very crowded. So yeah, that's like the newest one. Also, as I told you before, and in this conversation as well, that I like this kind of ideas that cannot be pinpointed, that are not expected. I also created my own creative agency, which is called No Agency, and with the specific aim to create this kind of projects, like this kind of projects that regular advertising agencies don't really offer because they don't have time, they're not blah, blah, blah. But this is something that I prefer to do and what brands need. So this is like the agency for special projects of this multimedia.
And highly
kind.
customized and highly tailored.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yeah. And
yeah.
always totally unexpected and different.
So you worked a lot with women as well, right? Women entrepreneurs and women with their businesses, even though you didn't specifically target only them, right? But what did you see? What did you learn from working with women in their businesses? Where do you see the next opportunity for them in today's economy?
Mm-hmm. I guess you're referring to what we were also mentioning. I was like literally thinking about how, because through Moćni Mali Brand, I got into this area of little small businesses and online businesses and stuff like that. And I realized like this is a great platform for women, and especially for this marginalized group of women, like women over 60, that nobody, I mean, really nobody addresses them. And they have money, they have time, they have a lot at their disposal, and we were
confidence
as well, yeah. So I was just talking to you, like, I think this is one of the future very interesting areas, like creating products for this target audience, and also women from this target audience actually now today, thanks to all we have today that we didn't have a couple of years ago, just can also create something for their own demographics. So I think that's very interesting. Another thing I find very interesting, like a couple of maybe a month ago, I was invited to talk about the effects of Gen Zs at brands and communication. And the whole context was like, oh, the aliens are coming, what are we going to do? Like that kind of things. And what I realized actually when I started thinking about it was that Gen Z is doing a great thing. Actually, it's holding the brands accountable for the first time. And for the first time ever, like the voice of the people is equally, if not even stronger and more relevant to the voice of the brand. And now, brands always need to have values, but values in the past were like something that you put on your website, something that you print on your interior, and that was that. But today, like you really get called on. You need to practice what you preach. And I think that's a very, very good thing, actually, because values are what makes brands, able to emotionally connect. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're all talking about authenticity in, communication in business and alignment with how we want ourselves, right, to live. So I agree with you that the Gen Z is really actually questioning us beyond, what you see in advertising. I have one last question because they're telling me that we need to close and these went by super fast. So we'll have to continue this conversation anyways. What's, what from your experience, maybe, what do you see that maybe we as women need to sort of overcome through our journey to be able to be, more successful in our business? I see a lot of entrepreneurs here at the Impact Hub. I'm one myself. I see, my own challenges, and I know, for example, that we negotiate a lot less than men do in the public spaces and in the business world. But maybe you do actually have different examples of that.
No, I totally agree with you. I mean, that's the fact. From my own personal experience as an entrepreneur, I now say that entrepreneurship beats therapy. It's like really forcing you to face every block you have, like every fear you have, everything. I mean, you need to do a lot of new things. You need to step out your confidence. And in my personal example, I was always used to just hiding behind the team, hiding behind a different brand. And for the first time when I started my own things, I needed to step up and just be there myself. And that was a huge step for me and really uncomfortable one, but I think very valuable. Also, I do notice a lot that women tend to undervalue their experience, their expertise, and their prices.
1.1 million.
And
but we won 800.
I remember, like, for example, a copywriter of mine asked me some time ago, like she wanted to do
in
some
October
freelance
last year,
job.
How to Love.
And she said,
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
was
what
there.
price, like what price should I put? Please help me. And I said, I have no idea about the prices for copywriters today, but I can tell you whatever you're thinking, double it. And for sure, it will again be very low. And that's the best I can do.
That is a fantastic and pragmatic advice. So we heard it. We better try to follow it because I definitely think that it works. Tetsa, thank you so much. You please continue to be an inspiration to all of us and just move forward so that we can actually also elevate ourselves and our experiences.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. And thank you.
So and now we'll have our partners from Deal. They will tell you something more about their company and their platform and what they are doing. And after that, we can announce winners of today's pitching. So please, Jovan. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So my name is Jovan. This is Anya. We come from a company called Deal. Oh, yeah. And yeah, we are the special sponsors of today's conference. So we wanted to do a quick introduction of what Deal does. So to kick us off, we will start with essentially what we do. So essentially, we help companies scale globally. So for both HR, payroll, and compliance. So we run this for global teams. And to kick us off, we'll be interested to hear firstly how the whole Deal story began. So to do this, of course, it'll be done by Anya, since she was here since the beginning. So Anya, it's up for you.
Thank you. Well, you're hearing a lot from me today. I apologize for that. Right. So my name is Anya, as you heard multiple times today. And as Jovan teased, I've been with Deal since the very beginning. What very beginning means for me is December 2018. Deal officially launched from Y Combinator in March 2019. So technically, I was a Deal before Deal existed. What that means is that we were 6 people. So it was 2 co-founders. We shown, well, actually, our CEO is not present in a picture. Typical. We were the perfect San Francisco garage startup story. We started really small with this idea that we could, change the world. Because our co-founders, so Shuo and Alex, they're 2 people who have met at MIT. And one of them is Israeli French and the other one is American Chinese. So both of them immigrants having arrived to the US, came across this issue where them and their fellow students, colleagues, peers, etc., couldn't really find a job because it was so complicated to hire someone remotely, let alone pay them and make sure that all of that is legally compliant. So they wanted to change that and build a platform that would enable people to work anywhere, from anywhere, to whichever company in the world. That's the initial idea, the idea, the very first MVP. When we met actually a few weeks before YC Demo Day, Y Combinator Demo Day. And this first picture right here, the one where we all look like we haven't slept because we have not slept for days at that point. This was us in San Francisco working on the pitch. So it was 2 engineers, 1 designer, 2 co-founders, and myself doing marketing. But I was, as all other people, also doing sales and customer support and QA and some development and copywriting. All of us did everything as you would typically have with the initial batch. So 6 people and 5 nationalities. So right from the get-go, we all met online. We all met remotely and we started working remotely, aside from this little trip to San Francisco. That was the whole idea. And it was, break the notion of what workforce meant and what global working meant. And mind you, this was all before COVID. So yes, we scaled because of the COVID, but we did not become successful solely because of that. And what we do right now is something that Jovan will tell you all about.
Thank you, Anya. So yeah, as you can guys see, 5 years ago, we were pretty much just at the early beginning. So where we are today, hopefully this will work. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, so basically, firstly, as Anya mentioned, we went through the Y Combinator, YC Continuity Fund, Anderson Horowitz, Power Capital. So we basically raised a lot of investment throughout the years. So we basically went from Series A to Series D in less than 18 months, actually. Total amount of investment that we raised in the meantime was $650 million. And actually, when it comes to growth, we went from 1 million to 100 million in ARR in less than 20 months, which makes us one of the fastest growing startups in history. So obviously, we're trusted by top companies. So top companies such as Shopify, Notion, Nike, Reddit, Klarna. We really have a lot of the top tier companies from, even the sports section, UFC, Chicago Bulls. So we really are working for all industries, all company sizes. So where we are today. So today we're at 20,000 plus companies that we're currently working with. We have over 110 legal entities worldwide. Current company valuation is at 12 billion. And we just recently reached a milestone where we are currently at $500 million in annual recurring revenue. And we're currently about 3,500 people in over 100 different countries. So essentially, as it's summarized on the left, so basically we help companies eliminate any kind of hiring borders. So anyone anywhere in the world, where you're qualified to get a job in a certain country, we can help you basically do that. So our product suite is a bit complicated, but I'll try to simplify it. So we have basically the contractor solution for remote contractors. We have the employer record, global payroll, mobility solutions, and HR. And of course, I will dive deep into a little bit for each one of these topics. But firstly, you know, what makes all of this scale this much and how we were able to do this in 5 years? And the short answer is actually we used Deal. So actually, without Deal, we weren't BB here, really. So behind Deal, basically, there is a very, very large infrastructure. And firstly, in order for us to compliantly help companies hire in different countries, we obviously have to have the in-house infrastructure. So what does this mean? It means that for every country where we operate, we have local HR managers. We have over 350 plus payroll managers. So local basically managers to help maintain a compliant and accurate payroll for the companies. We also have 200 plus tax, payroll, and legal specialists, making sure that basically compliance is set in each country. As obviously, you know, when you're hiring internationally, main challenge is always to stay compliant with the local laws. So I would dive now a bit deeper into the actual product suite. So as you can see, we're hire, pay, manage, and engage. So when it comes to hiring, we started early on back in 2019, 2018 with just the contractor model. So this is where we wanted to kind of simplify the way people are hired internationally. So for each one of these sections, I will kind of explain how the traditional way works and how Deal way works. So traditionally, let's say if you work as a contractor and you want to get hired in a certain country, so as a company, I would firstly need to draft a contract. So I need a lawyer to draft it. Secondly, you know, I would need to figure out how to pay this person. So every single country has a different set of rules, regulations, different tax policies, different payroll different payroll laws. So it can get very, very complex. So as a contractor, I would usually just create a manual invoice, send it to my company. Then the company will have to process the invoice, run the payroll, you know, store it somewhere. And it's usually a lot of manual work, a lot of Excel sheets. They're quite messy. So basically what we decided to do is automate most of the process. So firstly, what we do is make sure that the company stays compliant. So we in 150 countries where we cover the contractor model, we already offer compliant contract templates. So any company can hire a person compliantly, basically within a day in any country that we cover. Second thing is that invoicing is actually automated and we run the full payroll service through the platform. So regardless if you have 1,000 contractors, you can actually pay them all at once with one group payment. And it basically works that through the software, you run the payment will go into Deal, and then Deal will distribute the money to all of your contractors. So the usually very complex contractor model is a lot more now simplified and a lot of the process is automated. So next step, you know, when a company is expanding internationally, usually they're looking to hire employees full-time. And usually how it worked is that if you wish to hire a company, as a company, you wish to hire an employee, it's full-time employee in a country, you need a legal entity. And, you know, even though that we didn't invent the employer record model, we definitely actually perfected it. So what does this mean? So traditionally, as a company, I would need to set up my legal entity. I would need a local payroll provider, accountant, lawyer. I would need to stay compliant. I will need to follow the rules and regulations and changes in the country. So the employer record model basically eliminates all that. So this means that you are able to hire compliantly in different countries without actually having a need to have a legal entity. So how does it work? So basically, we have legal entities in over 110 countries worldwide. So if you would potentially, let's say, want to hire somebody from Serbia, you want to hire somebody in Germany, you don't need a legal entity. So what you need to do is basically make a contract with us, and we would take the talent or take the candidate and we'll hire them under our legal entity in the country and then lease the employee back to you. So this is also known as the employee leasing model. So we don't only actually hire them compliantly, but we also take care of the payroll. So we pay the employee's salary. We will also take care of the taxes, so local contributions, social sales, healthcare, social security, so whatever it's required. In that spectrum, we will also cover any mandatory but also optional benefits. So you're able to offer private health insurance, you're able to send equipment to your employee, you're even able to issue equity through our platform to your employees. So once that is done, essentially, the next step usually would be, okay, what if there are any visa issues? So we actually cover immigration services as well in about 35 countries. So if you have a person or a candidate that needs a visa sponsored under the EOR model, we do this as well. Now, once we take care of the hiring part, obviously the next part will be payroll. So even though that we have already in the hiring part, for the contractor model, for the employer record model, we do cover the payroll there. But what happens for larger companies that already have established legal entities in different countries is traditionally it's very, very complex and decentralized to run payroll in those countries. So let's say if I'm a company and I have operations in 5 different countries, usually what I will have to do is outsource the payroll to local payroll providers in 5 countries. And that way, payroll is very messy, very complex, and it's decentralized. So what we decided to kind of take the next step is to develop our global payroll product, where through Deal, basically any company that has multiple legal entities, so if you, let's say, again, work in 5 different countries, we're able to run the full service payroll for you within those 5 countries and centralize all the payroll and operations in our software. So this will basically simplify a lot of things, and it will basically eliminate any payroll mistakes as we basically run the payroll for you in-house for all of your employees in different countries. So once we take care of the hire and pay part, that's the management part where it comes from. So once we resolve that, we wanted to say, okay, how do we manage the employees globally? So we developed a global HR platform. So this means that anything from onboarding, offboarding, expenses, time off, people directory, organizational chart, reporting, whatever it is, we can basically have this streamlined through the platform and make sure that the global team is actually compliantly run through the HR platform. Now, we are also actually developing our AI solution, but essentially what the AI will be doing, or what it's currently doing in the beta phase, is that it's helping companies that have any hiring or specific questions about hiring in different countries. So it's basically like a chatbot in the platform where you can, for example, if you're looking to hire somebody in the UK, you can say, okay, how long is the maternity leave, for example, in the UK? And the platform will give you the answer straight away. So really interested in sharing all the knowledge when it comes to global hiring to help companies expand. I will skip this slide because I want to kind of also focus on the Deal HR. And Deal HR free is actually not a typo. So basically what we wanted to do is for every startup that has issues or challenges with HR operations, we wanted to make sure that the platform actually is accessible at no cost. So there's no commitment, there's no contract or anything like that. We are basically offering any company to have a free HR software that it's already made for global teams and global expansion. So if you don't have a software, I would highly encourage you to take a look at this, as again, there's no cost and no attachment to it. And last but not least, integrations. So as we are aware at Deal, we don't cover everything. So we wanted to make sure that we have those integrations with various providers across different segments. So whether if that's user management for Google Workspaces, where it's productivity through Slack, or Microsoft Teams, where it's issuing equity through Carta, we got you covered. We also, of course, have an open API, so companies are able to set up custom integrations with us as well. So I'm aware of the time, so I'll wrap it up. Essentially, if I can leave you with something, we obviously seen in the past 5 years that work has really gone remote, and if work is going remote, that means it's going global. And now we're also seeing that the payroll and HR are going global as well, which would suggest that for companies and startups anywhere in the world hasn't been ever this accessible. So if you need any help, advice, assistance on global expansion as a startup, me and Anya will be here until the end of the event. So we'll be happy to support you. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Thank you.
So now I would like to ask all of our jury members who are here with us and all of the startup representatives to join me on the stage. And I will give this microphone to Anya to announce our winner for today.
Please join me. We don't need to be so spread out. It's fine. I hope we're not going to be on bad terms here. Right, Milan, I'm doing everything, right? Okay. I would love for actually a few of us to join because this, in explanation, there'll be the face of horror. It was a long conversation. We loved your pitches. We're trying to see like what is the criteria, like what are the things that we're looking at, and it was a mix of everything. I would say it was a bit of how you presented your idea, the potential of the idea, the concept itself, as well as some scalability, right? Like safe to say, like scalability and innovation and all of that. Do you want to add something like what we had some here, Adam?
Yeah, I mean, everything was really interesting for us to hear. These weren't, those typical cookie cutter B2B SaaS only that startups that I'm at least used to hearing on all the pitches that I've attended. And one of our also key criteria was the potential for growth and something that's going to be potentially a game changer in the industry that they're in. So we feel like we made a decision on a plethora of things, but potential for future growth and maybe changing how an industry works was one of the differentiators that we were looking at.
That was a pretty accurate summary of what we talked
I mean, we had a really long conversation. We all had our own opinions and we had to come, to one single point of view, but we feel like there's promise for all of you to iterate and work on your solutions.
I do need the paper thingy. I'm sorry. Does it have? Ooh, it does not have. Cool. All right. So again, huge appreciation to all of you. Like you truly impressed us, especially, as we have some people who are just testing out, some people who are, entering the weeds of this crazy jungle of startup and innovation. But on behalf of the jury, and also, I don't know if we have our online jury members. I hope we do. Ladies, I hope you're there. We have come up with a final decision, and I see all of you sweating, so I will just say it. So the winner of today is Green Cell Innovation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Photo time. Can you please join me in this?
If you like to share your thoughts or impression.
Well, I don't know. I feel like we're supposed to say something. Well, I must admit that we're a little bit surprised because we're very tired of everything and have a lack of time to prepare this. But yeah, but we are very exciting and do every day and I don't know what to say. Masha, please help me.
We're really grateful for this because we've joined today and we actually hadn't really had that much time to prepare and yeah, it was like yeah really it was a great practice to come and hear your comments and
Yeah. I wanted to say that we want we want more
time to prepare.
To prepare, and this was great experience. We learned a lot. Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, so now we are officially over with this official part of the event, and we can start networking. Thank you once again, all, for joining us today. I hope that you enjoyed as much as we did. So hope to see you again on our next demo day in June. Thank you and goodbye.